So, Cheli, I have a question for you, and it's kind of random, not really relevant to what we're discussing today on this episode.
Okay.
How do you feel about those videos of those crafty girls who completely destroy book covers and completely like switch it up?
I think I'm okay with.
Are you? It looks like you're picturing something.
I'm picturing what that would make me feel. Did I ever tell you about that time connected to that? There is this one time when I was in kindergarten where I was such a reader because I read at an early age since I was the youngest out of three other siblings, so 4 in total. I learned how to read before I got to kinder. So I was reading, already, and my kinder teacher was super excited. And she was like, you know what? If you ever want to borrow any books, you just borrow one, read it, and then bring it back the next day. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's so sweet of her. So I would borrow these picture books. And I remember she lent me one of her books for the weekend. And I was like, that is so sweet of her. Oh my gosh. So then I read it all weekend. And I remember on Sunday, I was like, well, I should do something for her because, I feel like I'm indebted. I feel like I'm indebted.
Nervous.
So it was an old book, okay? So it had like smudges. It wasn't clean. So I went outside. I put the book on the floor, and it was a hardcover. I opened it up so the pages were face down, and I just got my hose, fucking power wash that shit.
Oh my God, I'm literally in shock right now. What happened after that?
Okay, well, first of all, power wash the back. Spotless. As spotless as a kindergartner can make it.
What are the
power washed the front, the pages. No pages left. She doesn't need them anymore.
You wash those fucking pages away.
Yeah, and it was funny because I remember doing it and feeling like that nervous feeling like I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing.
So you know.
But then a part of me was like, it looks better. It looks really clean. And I remember giving it to her the next day, and I was like, oh, she's gonna be so happy. And I gave it to her, and
your
she was
parents
just like,
didn't see you doing this?
My parents did not. They loved me. They did not give a fuck. Oh, she's taking the book outside. Just another Sunday.
Wait, but did anybody see you doing this?
I don't think so. Because you've seen my backyard. I just went to the grass area and just psst. So then the next day when I went to school, I gave it to her and I was like, I cleaned it a little for you. And she was like, oh, that's
how old
so
were you?
Nice. I was in kinder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess we
She never corrected me, but I also don't remember ever getting another book from her.
Oh, that is so sad. Wait, so hold on. You finished the book?
Yeah, I read it all. I kept reading it and reading it and rereading it. And honestly, it was probably one of those one is green,
Yeah. Okay.
Very kinder level books.
That is so cute. Yeah. And I feel bad for your teacher. Funny enough, I remember that teachers would also let me borrow their books too. And it was this what was this? I think it was one of the Harry Potter books. I don't remember which one, but it was later in the series, because I remember she even gave me the cassette tape to hear the audiobook along with the book, the physical book.
Love that.
And I did not finish the book because I was like, no, girl, I'm not reading
Not
that.
for me.
Also, I think it was the 6th book. What am I, crazy?
Yeah. You tell that to your teacher. First of all, I'm not a monster. Okay.
But I do remember when I was in 6th grade. No, 5th grade, I think. I don't remember. It was around that age. One of my teachers let me borrow a book, and it was so funny to me now because she let me borrow a book for the summer, right? Come to find out, I randomly end up moving during the summer. But I didn't move too far away. I just kind of moved just to a different school district. Wherever I moved was a different school district.
Yeah.
So I still kept in contact with some of the classmates that I had in that first school. And I remember that one of my classmates was like, hey, the teacher's been asking for her book back.
It's my book, actually.
And it was so funny because to me, I think you were the same way, where if I ever had to ask my parents to do something for me, I was so fucking anxious. Not because they were mean, but I just didn't want to be a bother.
Yes.
Yes. Just me needing to ask my parents, hey, can you drop me off to drop off this book? It like gave me so much anxiety. So I don't even remember. I remember I gave it back to her, but I don't remember how I did it. I think I must have like seen one of my old classmates and like given them back the book.
I don't think I would have asked. But that's so funny because now I'm at a point in my life where I've lent so many books out to friends, and when I look for the book at my bookshelf or like on my bookshelf and I don't see it, I'm just like, who the fuck has it?
You need to start doing like a log.
It's like I made a library. You have to check it out. Here are the cards you use. God. Yeah, I should actually.
Yeah, you should.
But when it comes to all connecting to the question you asked me, I think I'm okay with people doing that to a book because it's a hobby. As long as they don't destroy the book like I did when I was in kindergarten.
But you didn't mean to.
It was spotless.
It was beautiful.
It was so good.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually kind of cool when I see those videos of people like tearing off the cover because they do it so like beautifully. Like it's so perfect. And they just completely remake the cover. Some of the covers look way better than they did originally.
One of my kids gave me the entire work
by kids you mean students.
I don't have children. Okay, gave me the entire work of Shakespeare, and I was so excited because I was like, that's so sweet of you. Oh my gosh. And I remember I took it home and I opened it because it's an old book, so the binding of it or like the covers, it's not connected to like the actual spine. So I opened that shit,
oh god,
and I just see the biggest spider just living there, and I was like, like I closed it again. I was like, nope.
Oh my god,
that ain't me.
That's not
that
me.
ain't me. Sorry, Shakespeare. And so I made my sister, I think, clean it out. And so now I'm trying to look into like rebinding that book because the pages are really good. It's just the
actual binding
cover
itself. Oh, that could be our next segment.
Rebinding that book. It's gonna end up just the cover, no pages inside. Water hose.
You have credentials. It's fine.
I do.
Well, Cheli, the book we're talking about today has nothing to do with that.
No.
How do you feel about a book where there's a mysterious road where some disappearances happen? Do you think it could fix your life, maybe?
I really hope it can't, but I'll give it a try.
Welcome to another episode of the Book Fix Podcast, the podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli, and today we are going to be talking about
Murder Road by Simone St. James.
Okay, I've never heard of this author before this.
You know what? So this author is actually, I think they have another book that was really popular, The Broken Girls? The Broken Girls, yeah. And then
Sorry, you made me nervous.
The Book of Cold Cases. I've heard of that one too. So those two books are the ones that I've heard of, but this is our first introduction to this author, so neither one of us have ever read a book by them. I
honestly was not expecting us to read anything that was thriller or horror like this batch.
Why? I've been trying. Okay, I've been trying to sprinkle it in a little bit.
And Yajaira and I, we have this shared collections on Instagram where we put the books that we want to read. And it's so funny because like we're over here, you know, we're the fake dating girls. We read so much romance. But everything that I put in that recommendation is like unsettling books. Because books that'll fuck you up.
Because it's 90% Cheli.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just that for some reason I don't get any like book recommendations on Instagram right now.
I only get unnerving books.
I know. And
I'm scared all the time. I will say, because it took me a while to read this one. I actually started it the beginning of last week, but I kept reading when I was, because, by the way, we're in a different area.
Oh, yeah. We're in a different filming area. I know the wall is kind of boring. We'll see what we do in the future. I don't know. Yeah.
Yet. So we both were in the moving process. I'm almost done. You're done.
I moved in. Thank God.
Oh, my God. I'm so happy for you. I'm almost done. But because of that, the area that I was moving out of, it was only me out there. Like, my cats were back home. I was the only one there. There was really like nothing else in the room, so the echo was really bad.
Oh, dude. Yeah, Cheli posted videos of like the clean rooms, like everything was out of a room, like the living room or the bathroom or whatever, and you would be singing in there and the echo.
It was crazy, right?
Yeah.
So imagine reading in a place where everything echoes. Like literally, if I drop something, it would echo.
No, I get
and
so
it's
scared.
kind of spooky.
I would get so scared, but that's actually kind of perfect. Like you're really setting the mood.
So yeah, this took me. I would read it in chunks, and then I would stop and be like.
I think Cheli and I both do enjoy reading like mystery and horror books and all that. But when we were doing our horror batch last Halloween, oh my god, we need to start planning for that.
I know, crazy.
Both Cheli and I, we like had to take a lot of breaks because for me, I would be like the first one at my job, and literally like the walls were so creaky, or what's the word? Like just I don't know, like I guess creaky is the right word. Like I would go in as soon as I opened the door, all of the walls would like fucking start.
Dude, I can't because I don't want to stir any ghost drama up here. All the ghosts out there like
stir it.
What are they talking about? But the place I used to work at.
Oh god.
During our Halloween batch, during that horror batch, it would get to a point where we kept reading horror books. So I felt like I was going insane. Like it just kept, you would finish a book and you're like, thank God. And then you're back in it again. And now it's just as scary. And, you know, you're sitting with it. And the place I would work at, people said it was haunted. You know, I don't know what to believe. I'm stating what the town said. And I don't want to cause ghost drama.
I'm stating the facts.
But I don't know if you remember the room I worked in, there was a door in the very, very back that led to where my printer was.
Yes, I remember.
So when you would close the door, it was a click door. So it would click shut. So to open it, you would have to turn the handle, unclick it, and open it.
Oh,
so
God,
sometimes
why am I scared?
Sometimes before I would start working and everything was set up, I was just sitting at my desk, which is really far from that door, and I would just be reading, and you could hear it unclick. And it would open.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And it was funny because me being me, not wanting the ghost to know that I'm lonely as fuck, I would be like, oh, I'm so happy today. I'm just so happy and just full of love today.
It's so funny because I feel like for me, I would be like, I don't believe in shit around here.
Fuck ghosts. No, dude, I would hear that. And then I would hear, I feel me being not believing in that shit. Just not thinking about it, I would hear like, you know, like
oh my god,
footsteps, and I was like, it's just me out here. It's just me tap dancing a little bit before the kids come in. It wants to walk. I'll walk louder. So,
you start breakdancing
I
on
know.
the floor.
The kids are like, "What are you doing? Join in, kids." It's our first activity.
Did your students ever say anything to you? Like,
dude.
I saw this, or
There was this one time during COVID times when we were still doing hybrid teaching, where this one kid, because it was like you would come in for half of the day, and the other half of the day they would be with my aide on a Zoom meeting to cover like whatever we did in class.
Yeah.
And sometimes if they were super behind, I would keep them afterwards. And because it wasn't that many of them, we would spread out around the room, and they would work on missing work. There was always one kid who never did his work. And it was funny because sometimes I'd have to hunt them down. Like, no, you stay. And I would just look at him and he'd be like, I know. Like, I know I got to stay. Don't worry about it.
He's like,
I wasn't planning on leaving.
Say no more.
Brought his lunch and everything. So like, he would sit in the back and I would sit in the front. And I remember like turning off my printer because it's a switch to turn it on, and both him and I were talking about the math assignment he was working on, and it was just like a back and forth, and you hear the door click open and you hear the printer turn on. And I remember he looked like he's the cutest kid. He looked back and he was like, miss and I was like, no, and I cried. And he's now in high school, so every time he would come visit me, he'd be like, you remember that time you cried? You remember that time that door opened and you cried?
You actually cried?
Yeah.
Like for real?
I was scared.
Oh my god.
I cried because I didn't want to freak him out. I didn't want to scream. I was just like,
oh yeah,
okay,
because crying is not gonna
let me just turn and feel my feelings for a bit.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
I never talked about it with anyone except for my coworkers because I feel like the more you talk about it,
the more you
Which I'm
Invoke.
fine. I'm not lonely. She's good.
She's good. She's happy. She's thriving. Oh my God, that is so funny because for me and where I would work, I would never really hear things, but I had a coworker where she would open first. For a minute there, she was the one who would open, and then we kind of like swapped for a little bit. And when I would open, like I didn't care. Like even though I felt unsettled or I don't know, it's creepy in there, but I didn't care. I would go all the way into the back and like put my shit away. I would turn on all the lights, you know, because you have to go physically into each room and turn them on. And it was like a long hallway. Yeah. And so I remember there was this one time when that coworker who used to open came in, and she was just like, dude, how can you just like walk back here? Like, how can you just like hang back here? And I was like, I don't know, I just do. And she was like, do you ever like hear anything? I would hear creaking, but nothing crazy. But hold on. Actually, I have two things to say, but let me finish what she said. Okay. And she was like, dude, I swear to God, sometimes I hear shuffling, like feet shuffling, like slippers.
Like the dance shuffling.
LMFAO.
LMFAO, was that you? Red Foo with the big ass bro?
Oh my God, that would be amazing. But so she said she would hear shuffling like if someone was wearing slippers, you know, like kind of just dragging their feet along.
Oh, I hate that though.
Okay, but I told her no, I don't. I've never heard that. Okay, but there was this one time when I was not alone. Weirdly enough, I wasn't alone. I was with a different coworker, and we were in the back, and we were talking to each other. And I swear to God, out of fucking nowhere, we heard like a click, but like. She described it as like, you know, when you're like moving a wheelchair, like that kind of click. But I heard it. I heard a click too, but I didn't immediately think of that. I don't know what I thought at the time, but it was like a weird clicking noise, and we both just looked at each other. We were like, "What the fuck was that? What was that,
dude?"
But yeah.
Well, to connect. Those feelings, those ghost feelings, which, by the way, we're all good.
We're all good.
No ghosts out here, bitch.
No ghosts out here. Actually, we don't even believe in ghosts. Crazy enough.
It's funny. There's a ghost in here like, fuck. You don't believe
fuck you guys. So we started Murder Road.
We started Murder Road. I will say, right off the bat, I was hooked. Yeah. It was so fucking strong, that beginning of driving in the freeway, like in the dark, because you and we both live in an area where we have to travel long distances to get to places. You know, like to get to places that are fun. So,
to get to the places where the people are.
Yeah. I want to be where the people are, as they say. So you and I are used to doing like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. on the freeway, no cars.
For like 2 hours.
Yeah. And it's scary because we're in a part where like it's just pitch black. There's no street lights. There's no nothing. It's really just you, and you can only see like a few feet ahead of you. Because I don't know if you know that part of the drive. I don't even have to say where it is because I know you'll know. Where it's just all fog.
Yes.
Before you get into town.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm going through heven. like
through heaven, but also through hell at the same time.
I know.
Dude, speaking about that part.
Yeah.
One time, I don't know if I ever told you this. One time when I went to go see My Chemical Romance, I literally drove from that location to where we live, which was like hours. Hours. And I was so fucking scared, and I was in the brink of like almost passing out of like sleep deprivation. Yeah. And when I got to that part where it was literally all just fog, and it's like kind of like bad. And it's kind of like in a mountain-ish area.
Yes.
I remember thinking to myself, like, don't fall asleep, because it was so scary. And I think it actually did kind of wake me up a little bit. Yeah. And you know how you can only see like a foot in front of you? Thank God that I saw like a red flashing light. Dude, there was like a whole ass like truck that was like stopped because a car like spun out. And there was like so much debris everywhere. And I don't even know what exactly it was because it was so foggy. I couldn't tell what was like on the road. But I think it was just like parts of the car, but like chunks. Yeah. And so just to wrap it up, I guess it was just really scary.
It is. And like, I can't imagine, because to think that road scares me at night. Like, I hate it. I hate it. And we've lived here our whole lives. So you would think we'd get used to it, but it never gets better. Yeah. I can't imagine going on like a honeymoon trip with my babe that I met 6 months prior. My 6-month babe, who I'm married to now, my husband, and getting lost on the freeway and just seeing someone standing there.
That is so scary to me.
Hell no. If my husband, if my husband was like, hey, babe, you see that girl? And I'm like, nope, I don't see her.
Why are you seeing a girl?
Wait. What girl?
What
so you look at other girls.
What the fuck? You see other women now?
Rolls the window down. Who the fuck are you, bitch? That's my husband.
That's my man. Okay, we
I've
just got married.
6 months. So his name is Eddy.
Edward?
No,
Edmund?
It starts with an E.
Yeah, no. I agree with you. I was instantly hooked. I thought it was really interesting. I also really love when horror or mystery books start off with like a I just woke up, you know, kind of thing.
Dude.
Because a lot of the times, you know, these authors will play with like a, well, you were never asleep, bitch, or you weren't, you know what I mean? Like
eyes wide open now, bitch. No, I know what you mean. It it makes you wonder if it's true or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I loved about it, and then I also liked that. So our main characters is Eddy and April.
Yes.
And April was like half asleep. She looks around. She's like, where the fuck are we? And he's like, I took a wrong turn. Wrong turns in movies always get me. They always fucking get me because it's so possible. Like that's
why GPS exists. Why do you think they stopped making horror movies after GPS? I'm just saying.
Thank you. Mic drop.
I hate it too. I hate the idea of being lost and having to go into a town where it's like everyone knows each other and you're just kind of like, oh, and shit.
You're definitely the outsider, and everybody knows that you're the outsider.
You know what's funny? The place I used to live at was a ghost town. Like it literally was. No ghosts though. Just saying.
No ghosts.
All the ghosts out there.
We don't believe in ghosts. Thank you.
But it was like I remember the only thing there would really be like a gas station. There was other stuff, but you know, there's a gas station, and it's one of those places where if you're on a long drive, you stop there to get gas, but because it's a ghost town, it's like, fuck, it's so scary out here. And, you know, I would have thought like that too.
It is scary.
But I would be out there just fucking munching on a burrito like, hey, what's up, bitch? You're having a horror moment? I'm vibing. So, me and the ghosts.
But we don't believe in ghosts.
No. Me and the clouds. Me and these orbs. I don't even want to mess with that.
I love how we keep joking about that when it's like we keep joking about it because we don't want to invoke anything.
I hope all the ghosts watching on their Ghost Mac with their ghost internet, ghost spectrum. Oh my god, that's kind of beautiful. Okay.
Wait, I think that's beautiful.
Spectral spectrum. I'm just saying.
Oh my god. TM.
I hope we're getting those ghost views. I feel like YouTube should have views and views from the actual.
I hope my Theo's watching.
Shout out. I hate the idea of going into a town where everyone knows each other and it's so small. Mm-hmm. Like that in horror movies freaks me the fuck out because then everyone knows something that you don't know. Yeah. And so this couple,
it's like you're not in the joke.
Yeah, which is rude, by the way. Why would you do that?
Well, anyway, let's speed it up a little bit. So
Ed and April, they see someone on the road.
They see this girl, yes, and then so they're like, "Here, come on in. We'll take you wherever. Doesn't matter." She gets in, and then, but she's like kind of been off this whole time. Mm-hmm. She's very quiet, very like. I thought for sure she was a ghost. I didn't think she was real. I was like, that girl is not even here. She's not alive anymore.
And they tried getting her to talk, like, "Are you good? Are you okay? What's happening?" And they're just like, or she says, "He's coming."
Yeah.
But I can't run away from him.
Yeah, but I think at this point, April notices that she's bleeding, that there's like a stab wound on her. She's like, oh my God, what the fuck happened to you?
I really like the little comments that the author makes to let us know that these characters aren't what they seem, because there's a line at the beginning where April thinks, oh, she's like me. Mm-hmm. That's why I recognize her, because she's like me. Yeah. And I'm just like, what do you mean by that, April? April, wait, hold on. Are you a ghost? But they take her into a town that they didn't know was there, because there was no signs to go into this town. It's just kind of like a small town. They go to the hospital there, and this girl whose name is Rhonda Jean immediately dies.
Yeah, but while they were taking her, they did notice that there was a truck following them.
Oh, yeah.
And fucking Eddy's like, hey, wait a minute. Who the fuck is in the bed of the truck?
a bitch hanging off the bed of the truck, looking at me with brown hair and shut.
And she's looking very beautiful. So
and April's like, beautiful. Don't look at these girls, Ed.
So Ed saw a woman in the back of the truck, right? But he tells April, don't mention it to the police because he served some time in Iraq, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's been going through a lot of like PTSD. So he suffers through hallucinations he would suffer through hallucinations. And so he thought like if they looked into him, they would see that and they would think he was crazy and whatever, right? So they don't mention the truck part. But the police arrive and it's like 3 a.m. It's like they got there so fast. And immediately they're like, you guys are suspects.
Yeah.
A little bit sus that you guys brought in this girl
and
dead.
It didn't help too because they were going to their honeymoon spot. They just got married, and so they were really not dressed.
It was like called Hidden Pines or something. The honeymoon spot. I don't remember exactly, but something. It was like a resort thing.
But it's funny because they come in like, yeah, we're just trying to help. Fully bloody. April's not even wearing shoes, so they look super suspicious.
Yeah.
And like you said, with Ed serving time in Iraq, he doesn't want to be seen as someone who's going crazy. So he mentions to April, like, don't talk about the truck. Just don't talk about it. And so they really only say, like, we found this girl on the road. I don't know if she was a hitchhiker or not. She was just kind of standing there. And so it's funny because the police are handling it. But then detectives come and they're like, this one's us.
Yeah.
This one's us. And the police are like, okay.
They're like, oh, man. Oh,
darn.
man.
So then the main detective, his name is Quentin. How did you feel about him?
He was a bitch.
I kind of vibed with it.
Really? You would. You love police officers.
No.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about how our friend Melissa posted,
Which one?
Charlie Swan. The Charlie Swan thirst trap thing.
There's only one police officer that matters here. Do you remember when Mutant Mayhem, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie came out? That week when it came out, or the week before it came out, the kid, Nicholas Cantu, who voices Leo, he was like, hey, just wanted to let you guys know that I was told that I have to promote the movie for the next week because, like, you know, I'm one of the voice actors. So I'm going to tweet some canonical facts about Leo that I hope, you know, just really get you to know the character. And everyone's like, oh, that's really sweet. And then the next post was a big picture of Leo and it's like, Leonardo fucking hates pigs. And it's like a bunch of cops. And people were like, oh my God. I think he had to take it down.
Oh my God. That's actually kind of amazing.
I remember that. And I was just like, holy shit. He went off. I'm not a fan of cops. That's a different conversation.
My thing about, my actual feelings about Quentin was that I really, really disliked that he completely zeroed in on this couple. I understand that they're strangers in this small town. Sure. But with the murders and the way that it happened every like couple of years, right? And it's been going back for decades. Like it's been happening, right? And so even the couple did the math and they were like, if we were responsible, we would have been children when the first murder happened. So it doesn't make any sense, right?
But they were so hard on this couple.
Yeah, Quentin really believed, like, no, these two bitches.
I think, and we'll talk more about this, but I think what I appreciated about Quentin was his sense of wanting to find the truth. But I feel like they didn't, which is funny because I felt like this book had a lot of like density to it, but it didn't develop certain characters I wish they would have developed. Yeah. And one of them was Quentin. Because I like the sense of justice that he had. Yeah. And I like that he, although he was hard-headed, he was actually, you know, thinking about the right thing. But they never go into that shit.
I know.
And that's something that makes me really sad because I think he would have been one of my favorite characters.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah. I did not feel that at all when I was reading this book.
So they are now suspects to this murder and they're just like, shit, it's our first day of the honeymoon. Babo.
Congratulations, babe. We did it.
We did it. Ed.
I thought it was funny how they packed for like their resort that they were going to. So they just had like fucking like beach clothes.
I know. I love that shit. Oh my gosh. So they stayed at an Airbnb that belonged to this lady named Rose. Mm-hmm. And I loved her.
Yeah, Rose was a really good character. I really liked that Rose had a connection with them almost like, well, not immediately, because at first she was like, I don't want these people here. But after a while, she had a connection with them because her husband was a police officer.
Rob?
Yeah, I think so. And then he had passed away from a heart attack, I believe.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel knowing? Because like this, I feel like this story, I usually only have one brain cell on when I have to guess what's going to happen next. But I feel like this story had so many like different paths you can think about that I was actually over here fucking like
trying to solve the murder.
I remember. Okay. So I have like, you know, my book, but I also have my huge board of like the red string. Like, where the fuck does it connect? I felt really like in tune with all of these characters and all the little relationships that were connected between them.
Okay.
So I really liked knowing about how much Rose hated Quentin because apparently when Rob passed, which was Rose's cop husband, when he passed, a really unfortunate death because it was very sudden.
Yeah.
The police and the detectives all made fun of him. And she was just like, I'm never going to forget that bitch. Because then everyone assumed that she killed him.
Well, they would make jokes about it because when he died of a heart attack, she was digging in the garden.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of became like a joke. Like, oh, well, she was trying to, you know, bury him or something. Ha, so funny.
And Quentin didn't say anything to like stop that like rumor, I guess.
Or so yeah, that joke.
So, you know, there's a murder happening over here. We have our two main characters that are suspects who, when they talk and they have conversations between themselves, you notice that they're not completely innocent of whatever has gone on in their lives.
Yeah.
But then you see other characters that are supposed to be the ones that are supposed to represent justice who aren't that great either. So
just a lot of flawed bitches.
Did you think this was a paranormal story?
No,
because I did not either.
No, I didn't. But you know what's funny? I'm the same way as you, Cheli, where when I started this, I was immediately hooked, and I pictured, because you know I love Supernatural.
I know you do.
That's exactly what I fucking pictured. Like I was picturing like a Supernatural episode. So I feel like this would be so perfect as like a movie.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh, hell
and then
yeah,
more
actually.
so with the ghosts, like I didn't think it was gonna go like actually supernatural, but when it was revealed, because when was it revealed? So they figured out who stabbed Rhonda Jean, right? It was like some young 20-year-old, I think, and they were pinning it on, like they were pinning all of the murders on him. Yeah. But again, he was only 20-ish, I think.
So would it have made sense
for the first murder? Like he couldn't be linked to the first murder. And so we just learned that it's kind of just, it's not really one person.
Yep. It's multiple people. But that's crazy to think because this is a small town. So it's like, how is it this small town? Is just everyone here killing? Yeah. Like, that's fucking crazy. So I really liked that first time. You already mentioned it. But that first time where Eddy talks about how sometimes he sees people because, you know, he has PTSD. From Iraq. And when he first mentioned the truck and the lady just standing over the truck looking at him, I was like, nope. Not for me, actually.
I didn't think that was a ghost, though.
Dude, I did.
Really?
Hello? If I was on the freeway going through that foggy-ass mountain and I just see a lady fucking looking while I'm listening to, like, I don't know, I'd be listening to Taylor Swift pop music. I stay out too late and I'm just like, oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Hell no. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what I was picturing. I did, you know what's weird? I did picture her like the Ring girl.
Me too.
But
oh my gosh.
I don't know. Like I didn't know what the hell that was.
Not for me.
But then we learn that, you know, the main couple, they start investigating themselves because they're like, you know what? The police is not believing us. So we need to figure out the links to these murders. Right. And so they're investigating, and then they end up in like a hitchhiking area. It's like by the beach.
Hunter Beach, yeah.
Yeah, they end up there, and then that's where like a lot of like hitchhikers will like hang out and stuff, and most of them are really young. And so while they're there, they learn about, that Rhonda Jean was there. Yeah. And she kind of did form like bonds with some of the people here, and they start like thinking like, oh wait, you noticed that she left, but you didn't try to stop her. Oh. So there was like a lot of like, well, why didn't you do this? Why don't you do that? But as hitchhikers, they don't really like, I don't know, I guess get too much into people's business.
And it makes me sad because the last point where they're really talking about Rhonda Jean in this book, around that point, we learned that she had a crush on one of the hitchhikers, and she left thinking about him. Meanwhile, he was the last one to see her. Yeah. And it just mentions like he could have done something crazy. Like, that's so sad.
But sorry, I just remembered. I brought up this Hunter Beach because that's when they learn about the woman, the lost girl. And they're like saying like, oh, if you see the lost girl, that means you're next. So when that happened, I was like, oh shit, there's ghosts in this bitch. That's when I realized like, oh, okay. So like there is
hell no
shit going down.
Hell no. So that girl in the fucking truck, but I'm like, Eddie's next. The lost girl's gonna get Eddie.
I really did think Eddie was gonna die. I was like, Eddie's not surviving the lost girl.
How did you feel about that line where Quentin, because he was really set on April being something. Like, yeah. He was very set, like, your husband, he's nicer than you, isn't he? And you have him tied around your fucking pinky. Like, I fucking see it. And then in April's mind, she's like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we didn't do it, but I am worse than him.
Basically, like, comparing the two of them, you would assume that it would be Eddie who is more like dominant, I guess, or more, I guess mean.
Quentin was under the impression, though, that April was the one who had killed, and she had Eddie cover up for her because they're so in love.
Yeah.
I've known my babe for 6 whole months. My entire life.
My biggest issue with that logic, though, is why would they take her to the hospital then if they killed her? I'm like, what?
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of like what it... I mean, I'm saying it as if I've experienced this. I have not. But I feel like
please tell me more.
After you do something that gets you out of your normal mental state, I don't think things you do are... You can't say they're reasonable, you know?
Yeah, but I guess that's like very rare.
That is very rare.
But whatever. What else happened after...
So...
They were investigating.
It's funny because there's a point where they're getting really, really heavily interviewed by Quentin. And he's very much like, it's you, April. I know you fucking did it. So just fucking admit it.
Yeah.
And he gets pulled out. And like, I think half an hour later, he comes back and is like, you guys are clear. Pack your bags, go home, you know, whatever. And they're just leaving. And it's because they had ran into the truck that... Yeah. You know, whatever
that they had mentioned, because they eventually cracked and mentioned that there was a truck chasing them. Yeah. They ran into it, and then they found Rhonda Jean's backpack in the truck, and so that's how they linked the 20-year-old to the murder or the stabbing, which led to the murder.
I thought it was really interesting that they were both going home, and both of them were just kind of like, shit,
we're free, I guess.
We're free, but like, I wonder what's going to happen to Rose. But even them trying to leave.
I was kind of shocked that they didn't leave. I don't know. I wouldn't be like, damn, let's solve a murder today.
I would have been that picture of that kid that's posing like with a peace sign slowly disappearing.
I know, literally.
See ya, bitches.
Especially if there's ghosts.
Dude.
Bye.
Hell no. But the first time they try leaving, but then all of a sudden...
Oh, yes.
They see the lost girl. And they're like, and it's funny because at first it's just an orb of light. And April's like, drive through that beautiful bitch. Babe, drive through that shit.
Don't look at that girl, okay? Babe,
I've known you for...
If you love me.
Wait, are you looking at that orb? That you love me. Oh my God. I can't with just April being like super
like toxic.
Yeah.
Like, really, babe? 6 months.
I've never told you can't do that, babe. You're putting words in my mouth. Ed just never talks.
I know.
What are you talking about, babe? But they drive through this orb, and then all of a sudden they just see a woman running in the street. If I saw the girl from the a woman, just one.
Oh my god, the woman from The Grudge? Is that what you were gonna say?
If I saw her fucking Nikes on,
isn't The Grudge a little? I've never seen The Grudge actually.
Wait, is it? I'm thinking about The Ring.
You're thinking about The Ring.
If I saw the girl from The Ring, Nikes on, just fucking full on.
If I saw her wearing Nikes, I'd be like, oh, she's just like us.
Wait, oh my god, I relate though.
Wait, can we be friends?
Wait, what Nikes are those? Me too, man. I'm like showing my shoe. I'm like hanging out the window. Me too, bitch. I imagined. It's funny because I was so scared. But what I imagined was him driving. I don't know why I imagined a PT Cruiser. It wasn't.
I get it.
But it just had that vibe. And I just imagined him driving fucking 30 and she's just running across the street like this on the freeway. And I'm like, oh shit.
Just going back and forth.
Look at her go. Damn. What do you think her time is?
What Nikes are those?
She just has an Apple Watch too. She's like, okay, I'm in a workout setting.
Oh my god, it was scary.
I was horrified.
Me too. So yeah, so they see the lost girl, and I think at this point they were like, shit, we can't leave. She's not letting us leave.
No. And she goes by the passenger seat window, which is funny because April's sitting over there, but she reaches over, grabs Ed, pulls him, and April has to like kind of go under him. And now she's driving. Like, now she's on that side. Meanwhile, she's like, why the fuck is she touching you? Why the fuck is she touching you?
How do you two know each other?
I thought she was lost. Apparently, you know each other. Weird. But this fucking ghost is pulling him while also holding the car back. She's just that strong.
She's very strong. She's very buff.
Yeah, she does that.
All she could do is run. So
she does that one the butterfly pose to show all her muscles, and they're like, oh damn,
oh my god,
she's kind of weird.
What's her routine? Wait, hold on.
She accelerates and totally just pulls them out of there, and it's funny because they both go home back to Rose's place because they were heading home, but then ended up back in the town. Rose doesn't even question it. She's just like, go ahead and come in. They go into the room and they just fall asleep. They're just like, I don't want to.
I don't fucking talk about it. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Let's not talk tonight. Let's just keep it at that.
Baby, you know what? If we start talking, I'm gonna be pissed about why she was grabbing you. Like she fucking knew you.
And they're like back to back. They're not facing each other. So are you just not gonna tell me how you know her? Are you just not gonna tell me? No, it's fine.
It's like a moment of silence. I just think it's really funny that.
Babe, this is built on trust. 6 months in, and this is the shit I get.
Oh my god!
I gave you my life.
6 months.
6 whole months.
Why did they get married so soon? Do you remember?
They met because he was a friend of one of her roommates, and she was over here making spaghetti, and
that'll do it.
That'll do it, honestly. And he came in like those cartoons where, like, you know, they're flying. They're flying because they're following the scent.
Wasn't she not wearing a shirt?
She wasn't wearing pants. She was wearing a big shirt.
Oh, okay.
And so I think, but they just clicked after that. Like, he didn't leave.
Like, he made her laugh a couple times.
Yeah.
And she was like, wait.
And to her, this is the first man she ever opened up about her childhood with. Not completely, but she did mention, like, I've had a hard life where me and my mom had to run away from home. And that was kind of.
But what is known is that her mom's actually dead. Like,
yeah.
She made everyone think that her mom's been dead for a while.
And for him, he tells her, and I think he has only ever opened up to her about this, the fact that he sees things sometimes. And because of that, he was discharged from the army. So they, 6 months in, they're
besties,
fucking tight.
basically.
They're fucking tight. She's jealous, but they're tight.
But, like, you get it, right?
Yeah, because why the fuck would you look at a ghost?
Why are you looking at that orb?
What'd that orb do to you, huh?
She's very curvy.
I know. She's got that 0-100. The measurements.
The Coke bottle.
I was so fucking spooked by this point. So I was like, okay, these bitches ain't leaving. We're only like 1/3 into the book, and now they're back. And it's funny because if me and my husband 6 months in were stuck in that situation, I'd be like, bitch, let's just leave at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
When,
Why in the middle of the night?
Hell no. So let's leave at 10 a.m. But they're like, you know what, babe? What if we like solve a little murder?
What if we like really build this 6-month relationship up a little bit and we just like
Babe,
solve a crime?
Are you only saying this because you want to see her again?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
You want to see that fucking ghost again?
Mm-hmm.
How can you do this to me?
So you were into the story then?
I was so into it. So I want to speed this up a bit.
Yeah.
So they figure out more about this lost girl, who she happens to be someone who disappeared back in the 70s, 1970 something. Mm-hmm. And they go to a library to go learn more about this girl that disappeared. And I think her name was Shannon, right?
I don't remember her name. Oh my God.
I think it was Shannon, but it was a girl in that like not many people knew her. She was very to herself, and she really only had one friend. This one friend that they ended up meeting in the city said like, yeah, when Shannon passed, or no, Shannon's life was very much broken. And I don't want to say much about her life, but she met someone and 2 weeks later she was pregnant, and I was just kind of the type of person she was. Mm-hmm. And so it's like a really sad story because they start to believe like maybe this isn't just people killing people. Maybe it's a ghost killing people. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because that's so fucking scary, but both of them are kind of like, ooh spooky. Uh-huh. And they end up meeting these two twins. No, two sisters. Do you remember the ones that they were?
Oh, yeah. The ones that were just like living in town or something?
Yeah, who were really into ghost stories. Yeah. And they're just kind of like...
Did you hear the rumors? Like those girls?
That you know, people might... I forget what they gained out of them. Oh, they got police reports talking about like the conditions of the girls that would die in this area. And it was always like really brutally killed. So they have all this knowledge and they're just like, damn, now we're fucking in this, babe. Now we got to figure this shit out. I want to talk about the Quentin scene because they're no longer suspects. Okay. And, you know, it really is them just out here solving crimes. And there's one specific scene where April calls her mom. And yeah, it's because she's trying to take money out of their joint bank account. Because there was $7,000 in there. Mm-hmm. And she tried taking out $200 and the bank teller was like,
you're broke.
Yeah, it was all taken from the other account. Mm-hmm. And so she calls her mom, which is fucking wild because her mom was supposed to be dead. Mm-hmm. But turns out her mom, that night they left and ran away, the reason they did that was because she brutally unalived the husband who was abusive and set his body on fire and burned the whole house down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And she was just like, Mama,
are we broke or what?
And it was like, well, you know, you never took your half, so I took it. Yeah. Bitch. And why do you need that money? For you or for a man? I was like, for me, obviously.
It's a man.
I hear it in your voice. And I bet you he looks at ghosts, doesn't he? I'm like, no, Mama.
He's in love with an orb, isn't he?
That's what happened to me. No, but like so there's that goes on. And I fucking hate it because I knew this shit was going to happen. But she was sitting with her husband, Ed, in bed. Sorry, a little rhyme in there.
Oh my gosh, she's a poet.
And they were talking about like, do you ever wish you knew your mom? Because he had his biological parents who he remembers, but then that's kind of it. Mostly his mom, not a dad.
Because he was adopted when he was like 8, I think.
Mm-hmm. So he remembers her, but not really. And he's like, I know she's out there though, but I mean, I wish I knew her, but not much you can do now. And then he kind of brings up, you're probably thinking about your mom, right? Because she's dead, you know, because she died. And you told me that. Remember that truth you told me?
Gone.
Yeah.
Let's go visit her cemetery. Her fucking grave. Let's go to the cemetery.
Yeah, babe. Good night. And so the next day, Quentin comes in, and April hears a voice in her head that's kind of like, oh, bad shit's about to happen, bitch. What's that one scene or that one horror quote?
Which one?
You're gonna die in 60
7 days?
In 7 days.
7 days.
Bad shit's gonna happen in 7 seconds, bitch. And so Quentin comes in and he's just like, hey, y'all. Hey, fam. Hey, Rose. You hate me.
Hey, girl.
Ed, really into those ghosts, I see.
I fell for the orb too, girl. Don't worry.
April, what was with that call you made? That call to prison? The penitentiary? I can't say the word. Place with the
penitentiary.
It kind of looks like cages.
He's like, I've seen the Suicide Squad. I know what happens.
That's actually what they play at detective school when you have to become a detective. So I know Suicide Squad.
Both versions.
So who were you calling? Because it says you were calling this lady whose name was Nora. Nora? You called someone whose last name was Cross. And it's crazy because that lady fucking killed her husband. Did you hear this? He's like fucking confidential shit. Look at the pictures, bitch. And then she also had a little 12-year-old bitch that, just so happens to fit your age.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because when he spoke to April before this, he said, I looked up your name and your record was a little too clean. But now when he looked up her name, didn't something come up? Or more like something?
It was the mom who was doing a lot of money fraud.
Yeah, so.
But then it was like, yeah, we looked into her daughter and she had nothing. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird. The daughter's name was Crystal Cross. And she's just like, never fucking say that name again, bitch.
Yeah.
Never fucking say that name. And so then Eddy, I really like this part because even though a lot of shit's going on, I actually really appreciated their relationship. He was just like, don't fucking talk about my wife like that. My wife or my ghost wives. Don't fucking talk shit about any of them. And so then.
If she does a little shady shit, it's fine. Who
fine.
doesn't?
And then Quentin's like, oh, wait. But weren't you discharged for... He did something, right?
He did something, I think, when he was in Iraq, no?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but he did something.
It was really fucked up. Mm-hmm. But they're both sitting there with truths they didn't know about. And I mean, they've known each other for 6 months.
For 6 whole months? That's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like you know a person after that.
Yeah.
So they obviously didn't know enough about each other. And it really hurt me because I was rooting for them. I was like, it's your honeymoon.
That's crazy that you were rooting for them. I really thought you were going to be like, wow, another couple that got married too soon.
I knew it was true love.
Oh, you did?
All that toxicity in their marriage.
All the love, all the gawking at the orbs. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I get it. So they have this moment where they're both kind of like quiet with each other and they don't know what to say to each other because it's like, damn. So your mom's just been alive. You
didn't even fucking tell me.
My parents paid for our wedding and you said, I don't have any parents to pay for the wedding. We had to pay for everything, bitch. So then they have this moment where he just kind of goes like, nothing you do can make me hate you, babe.
Honestly, find you a man.
Find you a man that loves you and his 60 ghost girlfriends. It's like their house is just always cold. Hey, babe.
That could work, actually. You just get like constant chills, just like, oh my god.
Like, ooh, hey, Jasmine. It's just like someone just floating. But I really appreciated that no matter what they learned about each other, they still loved each other. And they would even talk about like, why did you like me? Because all we had was a spaghetti dinner.
And that was beautiful.
And it was just kind of like, well, you were the first person to be okay with everything about me.
Yeah, and I think they both agreed that they like felt safe with each other.
Dude, and it would really get me when there would be moments like during the investigation where they would just look at each other and be like, that's my bitch. That's my bitch. Uh-huh. Wait. So I just really appreciated those little moments because it would remind you that they were just a couple.
Mm-hmm. And they were in their honeymoon phase. So.
They really were.
I feel so bad that they didn't get to enjoy their honeymoon.
No, they enjoyed it. They were fucking... After this, I hope they became detectives.
Oh my God. They steal Quentin's job.
So going towards the end, I was super convinced that Edward
Edmund
was going...
Edmund the Third.
I thought he was going to die.
So did I. I thought that whole thing, the whole talk of the town of you see the lost girl, you're dead. I thought it was for real.
And I thought April, because they kept mentioning how she has ran away from her issues. I thought she was gonna be like, fuck that bitch. I live here now. Lost girl, she's my bestie. Like, I thought she was gonna like really become very Midsummer vibes, you know, find solace in like this town. But then our boy Ed, he reveals that he didn't take a wrong turn, that he was called over. Take the left at the next intersection.
Take the fucking left. It's like Siri, but
I know,
pissed off.
Fucking turn!
800
feet, bitch! Slow down.
Have you seen The Office? And when they end up in the fucking lake, he's like, "What? Why are you driving here? It's the lake. He told me to go right." It's like, that's the fucking lake.
So funny. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But he was like, "I'm so sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. Like, I should have told you, but I just felt right." And when they break into Shannon's dad's house, which is now they know as the missing girl, the lost girl. And when they see pictures of her, they recognize a little boy in the pictures.
He's like, hold on. Wait, that little boy, that's me.
Who's that dashing little boy?
Who's that really smart, really fit child? I can lift a car with one hand.
It's like the boy, it's like his school pictures, and his shirt just says, "This is Eddy, bitch." It's like, I think that's fucking me. I think that's fucking me. He's like hugging an orb. Yeah, that's definitely me.
Mom?
So,
Mom, this is getting kind of weird because I thought you were really hot as an orb. Wait, hold on.
Okay, this is weird.
This is weird.
This is like Star Wars. So,
people love Star Wars, so.
I know. And Eddy loves orbs. So, they figure out that there's like this ghost entity that just never got to escape. And usually when that happens is because it's very like, there's something that occurred that never got settled. And they figure out like Shannon went missing back in like March, but the missing person report didn't go out until December. So it was like, what the fuck happened in that time? But they tell Quentin this, and Quentin's just kind of like,
very loud.
Quentin's kind of like, hold on, Quentin. I know. Quentin, what the fuck is happening? He starts like fucking the renegade.
Whoa.
You remember that?
Yeah. Should we get paletas?
No.
And take the camera.
It was funny. I was like pulling up to my house today, and when I was pulling into the driveway, the elotero was walking by, and I kind of like did like, oh yeah, go ahead, you know, but I did it like this, so he started to walk towards me, and I was like, oh no, what? Actually, no. Wait, hold on.
Actually,
no. Wait, hold on. I need my wallet.
Wait, hold on. Do we even have cash?
No. No, wait.
Do you accept Zelle?
I like lower. ¿Tienes tap?
That's funny. Did you get in here or no?
No. He kept, but it was funny because he kept like, do I go?
Damn.
Quentin doesn't believe them. He's just kind of like, if you guys are just going to be spewing ghost stories,
spew a good one, bitch.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I would like to think Quentin's always just holding onto a table and twerking. So
oh my God.
he's like that type of bitch. Doing that and watching Suicide Squad.
Oh my God.
But he's like,
I feel like, you know what? I think I like Quentin.
You know what? Cops? No, just kidding.
Oh my God.
Hold on a minute.
No.
No, but they go back to Rose's Airbnb, and they're just like, you know what, babe? I forgive you for looking at your orb, Mom. It's like, thanks, babe.
Because I was looking at her too.
I was looking at her too. I'll be honest. She looked, those curves, that perfect circle. And they're like, babe, let's go home and live our happily ever after. And so then, you know, he's going to grab luggage, I think. And she's standing by the window, and she just hears a man's voice. But she describes the voice as warm. Like it's not a scary voice. And he's just like, get down, bitch, get down. And she's like, okay.
Oh my God. Damn, you have to
I'll get
fucking
down.
yell at me. Starts twerking on the ground. Starts breakdancing. She's like, I don't know.
I didn't mean that to get down. Can you break it down for me? Of course. So she gets down and there's immediately a shotgun shot. Mm-hmm. And she's like, what the fuck? Ghosts have guns now? So she runs to Eddy and they're dodging bullets and it's Shannon's dad. And he's like, y'all thought that you were going to break into my house and I wouldn't notice? Mm-hmm. I got 2 shotguns and a lot of bullets. So he's just shooting and they're like, what the fuck is going on? You know?
Isn't that your grandpa?
Oh, wait. Remember me. Look at my shirt. It's like, it looks like a crop top now. This is Eddy. It's me.
This is Eddy, bitch.
Eddy? This guy down. No, but he does. They do recognize each other. And he's like, yeah, you got that same fucking pathetic look as your mom. It's like, oh, never talk about my orb mom like that ever again, bitch.
Respect my mom, okay?
Mom, I choose you. And it's like, whoo, like an orb hits him.
Oh my god.
But
that
like,
would have been amazing.
I know this movie's writing itself at this point. Dude, why don't they have us in that writer's room?
We would get kicked out so fucking fast.
It's funny. Honestly, can I say something? Let's turn off the jokes for a minute.
Oh, please. Here we go.
Please read the book because I don't really think. I don't think we're explaining. I don't think we're explaining it right.
You're gonna read the book and be like, "Where the fuck is this hot orb?
Can you?
Where's the sexy orb?
Can you imagine going to like the writer's room for this? And, you know, they're like, okay, today we're going to be talking about this horror movie we're going to make. It does have ghosts and everything. And then we're sitting in the back, fucking shades. Yeah, hi, we're the book fix. What if the ghosts are kind of sexy?
Make it sexy, though.
It's like, no, you guys don't understand. That's the mom. No, we understand.
Hot moms are in.
I know. D-MILFs? Dead mothers I'd like to... They're in.
D-MILFs. Oh, yes.
Let me show you a picture. And it's like a perfect circle. Anyone? No one's feeling this? Okay, so
we should be in the writer room. In the writer's room.
No, writer, it's just us. Both of us.
We're one.
You have one hand, I have the other one, and we're typing together.
Your hand is over mine.
I know. It's like, okay.
This is giving me the same vibe as like when we summarized The Serpent and the Wings of Night. We made that book sound like a fucking comedy. Like,
this is not a comedy at all. I was scared. Yeah. So there's a fucking gun off between Eddy and his grandpa. And
not the kind of family reunion we wanted or needed.
Yeah, but I was, because the cops were coming and it was to a point where they were both going to shoot each other. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of ends with like, don't shoot. And it cuts off. They're at the hospital. They shot. So like, mm-hmm. The grandpa admits to seeing Shannon on the road, but he was just so unhappy with the fact that she decided to get pregnant. She didn't care about her life. He was trying to get her in the car, but he like was being too rough with her. Mm-hmm. And I think
it was like an accidental,
out of anger, accidentally
suffocated her.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But instead of putting her in the car, left her there. Mm-hmm. And then until a few months pass, then he did the missing persons report. And it's just kind of like, how fucking shitty of a person can you be to do that? Mm-hmm. But it just goes to show, because there was multiple different people that were murdering, right? Was that what was going on?
So the murders were actually Shannon, the ghost.
Oh, you're right.
Because she was a malevolent spirit now after what she went through. Mm-hmm. And so she would go into different people's bodies and they would do the other murder, I guess. So it was basically her, but she would use other people's bodies.
Yep. And so when this story ends, our couples, April and Eddy, finally go home. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, after so long. But they're coming back to visit to see how everyone's doing. I fucking loved this chapter. I love that they went to go see everyone.
Yeah.
Because it felt like a very nice closure of like, this is how everyone is. And then the whole part where Rose is talking to them again and April says like, I heard your husband, by the way, he protected me. And Rose was like, that's my husband. That's him. That's what he would do. I thought that was so sweet. But I really liked them visiting Quentin. Because I imagined this boy so fucking fresh. Like wearing like these are my Air Jordans.
Yeah.
This is my backwards hat. And I just kind of vibe like that. I think he was mowing the lawn, right?
Yeah.
And he has a normal life. Like he has kids. He has like all of this. And he seemed less angry. And the way he talked to them, he was just kind of like, I always kind of knew that it was supernatural. I'm always one step ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But
right, Quentin.
do you think he lied?
Yeah.
No. Cop lying?
I don't trust a cop.
I just feel like Quentin, this is where I'm saying like, I wish we would have seen more of him. I wish we would have seen his side on why he handled things the way that he did. Because the fact that he didn't say anything about the way that Rob had died, which was Rose's husband, I wish there would have been more like detail on why he acted that way and why he didn't think to defend his people. Because why would he be there if he didn't care about the town?
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to hear more from him, but we didn't really hear things until the end. The fact that he moved to this town specifically to solve this case. Like, I wish we would have known why he did that. Because if I lived somewhere and I couldn't solve a case for 19 years, I would have been gone by like year 1. Like, I would
be frustrated. I'd be pissed. I think this book would have been cool if it was in his perspective. Like, just being like really focused on trying to solve this case and not solving it. It was a fucking freshly newlywed couple who solves it.
If this was a movie, I would have appreciated it in the case of, or in the perspective of the couple. But if this was a show, I would have appreciated it in multiple perspectives.
Yeah.
And like every episode would be the same day, but in different perspectives. Remember that one episode of The Witcher where it kept like repeating?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I love that type of shit where it's like it keeps
like
happening over and over again.
In the, what was it? It was like event and a dance.
Yeah. And it kept playing the same part of the song. So you knew what part of the story it was at. That's the type of shit I'm there for. I wish it would have been like that. I wish they would have developed his character more. But honestly, like, this feels like a book where I would have enjoyed it more as a movie, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I hope we did it justice.
Yeah, we definitely told it very well. I think we didn't miss anything important, anything crucial.
Did we talk about how the orbs were sexy?
Yeah, I think we covered that.
Okay, good. I was scared.
And also
I was so scared.
the fact that we keep mentioning orbs when I think there were none.
No. It was in here.
It was in the heart.
I had it in here. That being said, overall, I really enjoyed this read. I wouldn't give it a 5-star, only because, like I said, I wish there were certain characters they went more into, like, depth with. Like, the whole thing with the sisters that helped them with developing pictures, I didn't really care about them. Like, I could have done without them. I wish it really would have been just the couple, Rose, Quentin, and, like, the grandpa. Like, that would have been good with me. But they just kept adding characters that didn't really seem like needed to be there.
Yeah, and I felt like it was kind of weirdly convenient that the two sisters were the ones who dropped off that like police report.
Yep.
And like I don't know, like I thought it was weird that they were able to give so much information on the case.
I wish it would have just been Quentin, because Quentin knew that those girls had taken the police report, and he was like, "Didn't you know I kind of gave you that?" But it was just him like needing help with the solving this case, so he would leave little trails for people. But we didn't even mention the best part.
Which part?
I really like
better than the orbs.
So much better than the orbs. So I really like it at the end when Quentin was like, "Oh, so there might have been several people that died here. So we're gonna try to figure out how to find all those people that are buried somewhere on that road. So you should go drive down that road and see what's going to happen." And so they drive down the road, and there's a huge sign that says like mall opening soon. And it's like Ed kind of makes a comment that's like, oh my God, to build a mall, they're going to have to dig up all of the dirt in this area. And it kind of just ends like that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, shit, can you imagine? First day at fucking shovel school. It's like, okay, guys, God. Get your shovel. Go ahead. We're just going to dig up this big hole. And it's like, sir.
What the fuck is that?
Is that a fucking orb? It's like, no, that's a body.
No, that's actually an arm.
That's so fucking scary.
I would quit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I wouldn't even be there.
You know what? Shoveling isn't that fun.
No. It's definitely not for me.
I think overall I would give this story like a 3.75.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel weirdly similar to you where I think I would have enjoyed it more as like a movie. Mm-hmm. Like I said before, I was really, really picturing like supernatural vibes. More specifically, like that one episode with the weeping women, which I think was like the first episode, first. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And the car episode. You know the car episode to the supernatural fans out there. I was picturing those two episodes combined. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I liked the whole mystery, like trying to figure out like what happened. I did not think it was going to be a supernatural story in the beginning. So I was pleasantly surprised. But I thought, you know what? I feel like I'm shocked that you did not bring up the fact, because you've mentioned something before.
Okay.
Where you don't like when things like come full circle too perfectly. I don't know how to describe it, but so
where did I mention that?
Don't remember. We have so many episodes. I don't know. But so when it was revealed, like the whole plot twist with Eddy being, actually the son to the lost girl, I was like, okay, not my favorite twist. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I felt kind of like lukewarm. I felt like, okay, that's interesting. I think it would have worked better if we would have seen it more in his perspective of like, oh, he just sometimes gets like these visions. It's not just hallucinations. I don't know what I would have wanted more of, but I really thought you were going to mention something about that, because you've mentioned before, don't know which episode, where you were like, oh, I just don't like it when things like, like it's just like it's too conveniently.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I was so set on this story ending like a Midsummer vibe. Like I think it would have been better if he believed that he had a connection to the lost girl. And then we figure out all of these people that were dying all thought they had a connection to the lost girl.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And it's just fucking April being like, you know what, the lost girl's my bitch. And then she helps her.
JK.
And they're the found girls.
Oh my God. Wait, that would have been so nice.
I thought it would have been something like that. But then when that twist happened, I was like, okay.
I think what took me out, I think it was Quentin who, when he went to go see Eddy at the hospital, he was like, hey, lost girl, we're gonna stop her. You want to say anything to your mom, because she's gonna be like right over here, like is there anything you want to say to her? And he was like, no,
tell her
I love her, I guess.
Tell her form be looking really good.
Oh my
tell
God,
her orbs is slimming. That shit's an oval.
I felt that part to me was just like, I don't know.
I didn't mind it. I mean, it just felt kind of like a.
That's so weird to me. Like to be like, hey, you want to
close all the loose ends.
Say anything to your mom? You want to say anything to your mommy?
Wait, how was he gonna talk to her?
Because she was gonna manifest herself for some reason. I forgot why. Like I don't remember. She was gonna show up.
It's like, even when I'm dead, I have to go to meetings. Fuck.
I can't catch a break around here. I don't remember. There was something that was gonna happen at the end that Quentin was gonna do to be able to like talk to her or something. I don't remember, but.
And then after that, she was gonna be at peace, right? And then she was gonna.
And then it was gonna be like, okay, murder's done. We're done with them. That part took me out a little bit.
I forgot about that.
I was kind of just like, I don't love that. I kind of wish it would have been a different direction, but overall, I would say that the story was still enjoyable.
Yeah, I think so too. I enjoyed it to the point where I just kind of didn't really consider those parts.
Yeah. So I think I would give it like a 3.25.
But honestly, if we were in the writer's room for the movie, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I really like it when horror movies are also kind of funny. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we
of
would.
course.
I
They
think
have to
we
be.
would really.
They have to be funny.
We would really change the game if we helped them. So
Are
go
you
ahead. We have our book fix email.
Are you saying-
email?
Are you saying we should make horror comedies? Is that what you're saying?
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Oh my god.
We'll talk more about it later.
Okay. Okay.
But that being said,
Mm-hmm.
thank you to everyone who's listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. Thank you so much. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars, and it literally takes a second. Like you click our name. Okay, you're there. After you click our name, the Book Fix Podcast, you will click on ratings, and then I think it only lets you click 5. Don't test the other ones.
Don't try it out or anything. Just do 5. Just do 5.
Yeah, I actually heard it erases your whole phone if you click 1. Weird. So yeah, click 5, and please leave us a review recommending your books to us.
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of recommendations. It's kind of crazy.
It's kind of nice.
It is, but it just feels real now.
Oh no. Sorry, we're a little slow on that though.
I know, but
we were moving, so.
yeah, but we're here now. If you want to support us and you have a little bit of money, what can they do?
So we do have a Patreon, and at the moment there's not a lot on there, but please stay tuned. You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want the commitment of monthly, you can find us on buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix or coffee, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix.
And if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. We are not planning on taking any more weeks off. So
yeah, it's not
it's
not in the
crazy.
plans.
No, it's not at all. If you want to support us on social media, we do have a Instagram, Threads, and Goodreads at the Book Fix
Pod.
At the Book Fix Pod, THEBOOKFIXPOD, and we also have a TikTok at the Book Fix, THEBOOKFIX.
Yes. Wow, it's always so fascinating how you just like spew that out.
I know, it's gotten to the point where it's just kind of like
You say it in the middle of in the middle of the night, you just wake up in a cold sweat.
Well, isn't it kind of crazy because we say the same thing every single time, so it's just I don't really think about it.
It's just ingrained in
That's
you.
gonna be like my last words when I'm 120.
Young 120.
That being said, why don't we read a positive and negative review of this book?
Okay.
I can't with this picture of us.
What should do? Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god, look at us when we
I'm
live
gonna
together.
post this. Who's ever editing? I'll send that picture.
Yeah.
When you watch a scary movie and your roommate's all the way on the top bunk. That was really beautiful.
This is actually very fitting. What movie were we watching?
It was that scary. Is it a Taiwanese movie? It was the one with the girl that was haunting a high school. Right? Wasn't it?
Her mom.
What?
Don't you remember her mom? Oh my god, am I mixing the movies we've seen? Don't you remember there was a mom who bullied someone when she was a child?
Yes.
And then
it was that one.
And then it like came back to her daughter, I think. I don't remember.
That movie fucked me up.
Yeah, it was so good though.
How's your reading challenge coming?
I am at 45. My goal was just kidding. I'm at 48. My goal was 50. So
okay.
Almost there.
I feel like I should have done that. Red.
What do you want? The 5-star or 1-star?
I'll do the 1-star.
Okay.
I like how because I got a 3.73 generally. That's very true to what we said.
I know, seriously. So my 5-star comes from Danielle. They wrote, "This was a really creepy and classic ghost story. I'm choosy about supernatural books because they're not usually my thing, but this sounded like a straightforward story, and it pretty much was. I always like this author's books until they go off the rails, my opinion, but this one didn't. I enjoyed all of the characters. The 90s atmosphere was neat, but not overdone. All good things."
This one comes from Lauren, who gave it a 1 out of 5. I refuse to believe that Simone St. James wrote this. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Should we read more from Simone?
I'm down because I actually really enjoyed it, and for people to say this was one of her worst ones, I want to see what a banger looks like.
Oh my god, very promising.
I do want to say, because I was listening to the audiobook for this one, how do you feel when you're listening to the audiobook, but the person who's like making character voices doesn't match the energy of the character?
Okay. What do you mean?
Because April, I don't know if you heard her voice. Nothing like what I thought April was.
Really?
Because April, to me, like, after everything she's been through, I would think she has like a commanding voice.
Like a T name.
Like a T. No.
It's because Cheli made a comment one time
that T names are very tomboyish.
Yeah, for girls.
Yeah, Tapril.
Tapril.
No, I just thought she would have like a don't fuck with me. I know my rights.
Yeah, I thought
type of.
That's literally what I pictured for her.
But no, she had like a very like damsel in distress type voice.
Wow.
And I didn't agree with it, and it kind of took me out. I forgot about that, but someone made a comment on Goodreads. Shout out to Allison. Shout out to all of you. I don't remember.
Shout out to every single one of you.
But yeah, that affects how I read. That being said,
I agree with you, and especially now that we're talking about audiobooks, especially when like it's the guy narrating it and he does the girl's voice, and I'm just like, no, this is way off. it ruins my listening experience.
There are some people though that
kill it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there are people who follow audiobook voice actors.
Oh my god!
And are kind of like, oh wait, Tim's gonna do this one? Oh, hell yeah.
That's so funny because I don't recognize their names. Do you?
No, because I never look, and I feel like I should now because, like, for example, when we read the Craig D. Louis one.
Oh, dude, that one was so good. But I feel like that one was mostly because it was like a whole orchestra, like a whole combination.
Red,
yeah,
was also like that too. That being said, Yajaira and I are forming our own audiobook.
Oh my god.
We're gonna change our name to One Mic, Two Hearts. We're gonna have one mic. We'll have sound effects like bubble wrap and everything.
I've seen how people do that.
Dude, should we? Should we for one episode? Wouldn't that be kind of funny?
That would be kind of funny.
We'll do that with fan fiction.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Well, maybe. I was thinking like maybe we could read our favorite passages.
Fine, we'll do okay. This is how we'll end it. Say one book that we've talked about that we can do an audiobook for. Okay. Think about it. Tell me when you have it locked in.
Okay, hold on. Don't look at me.
We're gonna mesh. I know that you're thinking this one.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
On 3?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Divine Rivals.
Oh, Divine Rivals. Dana Viper. We were basically in the same wavelength.
Okay, we'll do both.
We'll do a mashup of both.